Happening now, we have the latest following a late-night fire that destroyed a town of Ellicott home and an update on a new solution hoping to bring an end to pesky potholes in Jamestown. Plus, a look at inflation impacts on a popular breakfast staple, eggs.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up. But first, fire investigators are working to determine what sparked a fire that destroyed a home in the town of Ellicott. Around 10:30 p.m. late Wednesday night, several area fire departments were dispatched to assist Fluvanna firefighters responding to a large house fire at 3384 Moon Road. That's just west of the Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport. Crews worked into the night to quell flames, which were reported to have rekindled early this morning. As a result of the fire, much of the structure was leveled to the ground with debris scattered around the countryside property. A Jamestown teenager has been located safe by police after she was reported missing yesterday. On Wednesday, a missing endangered person alert was issued for 16-year-old LaKayla Norad by the Jamestown Police Department after she was last seen in the early morning hours. Officers credit tips from the community as the main driver to be able to locate this teen who was found early this morning. And this just into our newsroom, a Jamestown pharmacy is closing their doors. The North Main Street Rite Aid location is slated to close next Thursday, January 19th. That's according to a sign posted on the entrance of the establishment today. Customers who use Rite Aid's prescription services are directed to the South Main Street location in Brooklyn Square. Last year, Rite Aid closed 145 unprofitable stores nationwide. Forbes reported just last month that the drugstore chain saw a quarterly loss of more than $67 million and is projecting greater losses for its 2023 fiscal year than they originally thought. Well, last spring, road crews in Jamestown started testing out a new solution to bring an end to pesky potholes. Now, 9 months later, the project seems to be going well. Bronson Rasmussen joins us live in the newsroom with more on the results of this program so far. Bronson?
Justin, the idea was first presented by Jamestown City Councilman at Large, Randy, who is leading the effort testing American Road Patch's unique solution to potholes.
Last April, we watched as crews patched 2 problem spots on Prendergast Avenue in Jamestown, adhering a special road roll promised to stay in place even when hit by snow plows.
The plow, I'm sure, has been over it twice, but not enough. So
right, it hasn't got abused.
Yeah, it has not been abused yet. So
if the covers hold up over the season, the municipality will adopt the solution citywide. The only hitch so far comes with installation. Crews have to physically burn the patch to the asphalt.
we got by that day for the test, but we are going to have to probably get a hotter burner when we finally are ready to go with it. Because I'm a proponent of using that.
Potholes are created when freezing water expands and causes cracks in the roadway. The most likely time for this to occur is around March.
There's a couple potholes that have come out, no doubt. But once we get the heavy freezing and the rain, that's when we're going to see more. We haven't seen a lot of that yet.
While our area was hit hard earlier this winter season, so far it seems Jamestown has been spared from heavy snow and subsequently long days for local road crews.
Do you think we got enough manpower to, if we do happen to, knock on wood, get hit hard, to handle the sidewalk and the street plows?
I think so.
In a timely manner, because
through the holiday season, which is usually problematic.
I know.
In addition to the road patching effort, the Department of Public Works also purchased 2 new sidewalk plows for school zones, which will help clear paths for students walking to class. The equipment was told and still on the way and should arrive at the end of this month. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Brunson, thank you. Buffalo Bills coaching staff say it's up to Damar Hamlin if he wants to play football professionally again. Hamlin is now at home after spending more than a week hospitalized, but the Buffalo Bills safety suffered a cardiac arrest on the field last Monday during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. He spent days seated and on a ventilator before his breathing tube was removed Friday, and then on Monday, Hamlin was transferred from Cincinnati to Buffalo to undergo further testing. Doctors say the 24-year-old is recovering well. As for when he'll play football again, that's not clear, and his coaches say they are not pressing the issue. Recovery from an event like what Hamlin suffered is typically measured in weeks to months. Doctors have said Hamlin's recovery is progressing quickly, and he's neurologically intact. Bills quarterback Josh Allen noted that it's an awesome feeling to have Hamlin home, adding that he hopes he's getting his rest. Allen also stated that he's not seen Hamlin yet, but eager to do so.
Some guys were chomping at the bit to go see him, but against doctor's orders, just making sure that he's, like I said, getting his rest and recovery and taking it slow, and obviously just trying to get back to being himself. So we'll take all the time that we need, but hope he knows the guys are ready to see him.
Yeah, and certainly the community rallying around him. The NFL season now entering the playoffs after the Super Bowl, which is February 12th. The players will be in the off season, so certainly there's a lot of time between now and when Hamlin may or may not return to play. Nevertheless, absolutely remarkable. Well, now let's switch gears and get a first check of our weather forecast today. Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson joining us in studio with that. And Andrew, I hear that the raindrops are back in the picture today for many across western New York.
Some rain showers are just starting to come into the area, as you'll see on first defense radar right now. The showers are creeping into Erie County, and those rain showers will continue to overtake the region through the rest of the afternoon and into the night. Otherwise, cloudy skies across the region. We have one winter weather advisory currently in effect that was issued, that will go into effect, I should say, at 1 a.m. Friday morning and lasts until 1 a.m. Saturday for Erie County, Pennsylvania, issued by the Cleveland National Weather Service for about 3 to 6 inches of snow across the area. The high yesterday was 40 degrees, the low was 26. The record high for today was 63 degrees. That was set back just a couple years ago in 2020, and the record low was negative 25, set back in 1981. For the rest of the afternoon out there, mainly cloudy skies through the day. Rain will be increasing through the day with widespread rain overtaking the region through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Temperatures today will range from the upper 30s to lower 40s across the region. Now I have an updated look at those snowfall totals coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes, Justin.
All right, Andrew, we'll look forward to seeing those. I guess it depends on how you feel about the snow. Thank you. As we continue, we're taking a look at the push to expand broadband internet access in New York, and an important deadline those in rural communities like ours need to know. And later, a major nursing strike here in the Empire State appears to be coming to an end. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than Dwyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on Dwyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. Dwyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, Follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Internet for all and a deadline that's quickly approaching. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is raising awareness to discuss the Infrastructure Act that aims to bring broadband to our region. Senator Chuck Schumer said bringing broadband to every home, particularly in rural areas in New York, has been one of his goals and a priority as Majority Leader. According to Senator Schumer, the Federal Communications Commission will determine how much money New York would receive. The amount of money New York would receive would be based upon FCC maps. Senator Schumer goes on to say that people can check their internet services online. He says it's something maybe is inaccurate. You need to change it.
If something's inaccurate, you should change it. So if they say you're getting broadband, but you're not, or you're getting broadband, but the service is so bad you're virtually not, you should enter that in.
He says after any changes have been submitted, the FCC will then take them into consideration and release the funding by June of 2023. Once the funding is released, jobs in construction to get high-speed internet into homes will get underway. $42 billion has been allocated for broadband, and another $14 billion is set aside for those who can't afford internet services. If you or someone doesn't have the internet at home, that's okay. Anyone can go to a local library and then Google FCC broadband map. We also have a link on our website, WNYNewsNow.com. The deadline to update your portion of the FCC map is this Friday, the 13th. Well, today we're continuing our coverage on Governor Kathy Hochul's State of the State address. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein is breaking down Hochul's proposals for affordability and talks to advocates and economic experts about how they think the governor's policy changes will impact New Yorkers.
In her State of the State address, Governor Hochul promises to help New Yorkers keep up with the cost of living by indexing the minimum wage and tackling other elements of affordability, including childcare and housing. But some advocates feel Hochul's policy changes fall short in addressing New York's affordability crisis.
Yesterday's State of the State was lacking in a path that provided details on how to get there in several areas.
The governor's proposal to index minimum wage plans to automatically increase the minimum wage to keep up with inflation. After $15 per hour, each region's minimum wage will increase consistently with the year-over-year consumer price index. Garrard says while this will be beneficial, it doesn't address the issue immediately.
We need an increase in this moment that puts New Yorkers in a place where someone working a full-time job can afford to put a roof over their head, can afford to feed their family before we rely solely on indexing.
Some experts say that significantly raising the base for the minimum wage could be concerning for businesses.
There's never any relief in the labor law world. It's just mandate after mandate after mandate. And particularly for a small business that may not have full-time HR staff to deal with this, it becomes really burdensome.
The index minimum wage proposal will be hammered out along with the governor's other State of the State proposals in the 2023 fiscal budget. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Pennsylvania's Governor-elect Josh Shapiro made his way to the 2023 Farm Show on Wednesday. Shapiro joined agriculture officials and leaders from across the state to highlight the importance of the Commonwealth's agricultural industry. The governor-elect also spent some time meeting with farm show goers and stopping to take some pictures. He said the administration will prioritize a capital fund specifically set aside to help farmers especially small farms who need some extra capital to take their business to the next step. Making sure farms in rural areas are connected to the internet is another big priority for the governor-elect, who says he hopes to strengthen the ag industry and protect its future.
We have incredible opportunities with farm to table. You think about the restaurants just in Philly and New York and Boston and other communities that are easily accessible. We need to make sure our farmers get their products to these tables in these restaurants in these areas. We can do that together.
Both Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis are set to be sworn in next Tuesday. Well, two big New York City hospitals have now reached a tentative agreement with New York State's Nurses Association. Mount Sinai released a statement saying the deal is fair and responsible and puts patients first. The agreement includes a 19% raise and 170 nursing positions, which will add more registered nurses and nurse practitioners to emergency departments. Nurses had lined the streets in front of the two hospitals for 3 days, demanding better nurse-to-patient ratios. They said the understaffing was impacting their workload and patient care. Well, coming up, our Washington, D.C. correspondent with an update on efforts to possibly expand the Supreme Court. Today, she's taking a look at pushback and later the impact of inflation on a breakfast staple, eggs. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
There are two silver linings here. One, that no injuries were reported, and two, they were able to contain the fire from spreading further.
Western New York has a new congressional member representing them.
One of the things that made Betty White so unique was the fact that she connected generations of fans throughout the decades. Take a look at the display here.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now at noon. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we are under cloudy skies. It's 39 degrees as of the noon hour with a south wind of 8 miles per hour and a wind chill of 33. Now, as I said at the top of the hour, we have winter weather advisory for Erie County, but wouldn't you know it, just a few minutes before I come on, the National Weather Service in Buffalo has just issued a winter weather advisory for Chautauqua and southern Erie County here in New York, and that will also go until 1 a.m. Saturday morning. Don't you just love it when they just update just before you go on? Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. Low pressure to our south will continue to push moisture of rain showers into the area. We do have severe weather, but that's going to stay well to our south and will have no impact on the area. We'll just be dealing with the widespread rain this afternoon into the night before switching over to snow. So let's time it out on Future Scan. The Future Scan shows that rain overtaking the region through the rest of this afternoon into the night, and then as colder air filters in tonight, that rain will switch over to snow, and then we'll have widespread snow at least through the first half tomorrow before lake effect snow will set up mainly across the Chautauqua Ridge and areas closer to the Lake Erie shoreline where lake effect snow will be through tomorrow night, and then early Saturday. Then high pressure will build in by Saturday, will dry us out for the rest of the weekend. So here's an updated look at the snowfall totals. This will run through Sunday morning, although these totals for snow will be mainly tomorrow through early Saturday. We're looking at maybe an inch or so across the southeastern portions of the southern tier, up to 4 to 6 inches across the Chautauqua Ridge. Maybe locally higher amounts are possible with lake enhancement. So as we look at the rest of tonight, rain will change over to snow late tonight. 1 to 2 inches of snow possible by the early morning hours. Then lake effect snow will add the totals through the rest of the day tomorrow. With temperatures tonight will be range from the low to mid 30s with winds at northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 25. Looking forward to the weekend after a few early flurries on Saturday. High pressure builds in. That's going to lead us with dry weather through the rest of the weekend, but temperatures will be chilly on Saturday in the mid 20s. Saturday night under mainly clear skies, it will turn downright chilly Saturday night with temperatures dropping into the low teens, and then we rebound nicely into Sunday with partly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid 30s. The rest of the 7 days as we head into early next week, temperatures next week will rebound into the lower 40s, mostly cloudy skies for Monday, a chance of rain showers for Tuesday and Wednesday, Justin.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Certainly going to want to have to bundle up again this weekend. Well, let's get some headlines now from around the nation. And President Biden's legal team found another batch of classified information at a second location. According to sources briefed on the matter, his team uncovered a second set of classified documents after the initial discovery in November of classified info at the think tank office used by then Vice President Biden. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is among Republicans calling for the Attorney General's office to open a full-throttle investigation into the situation. Classified records are supposed to be stored in secured locations, and the Presidential Records Act says all White House records are to be given to the National Archives after an administration ends. As of now, there's no confirmation on how many documents were found in this second discovery or what info they might contain. The location of where they were found has not yet been released. Well, should our highest court add more justices? That's something House Republicans are pushing back against, pushing to pass legislation to keep the number of Supreme Court justices at what it currently is. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Now has more.
We need to keep the 9.
That's the phrase House Republicans are using in reference to the 9 Supreme Court justices. They're looking to pass a constitutional amendment to keep the number of justices where it's currently at.
Small enough to allow them to be deliberative and large enough for them to be able to represent some diversity of views.
Following last year's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which protected abortion access nationally, many, mostly Democrats, advocated to add more justices to our highest court. It was even the focus of some protests following the Roe decision.
Expand the Supreme Court!
Those in favor of expansion argue 9 justices made sense when there were only 9 circuits. But now that we have 13 circuit courts, some Democrats argue there should be a total of 13 justices. Currently, the majority of justices were nominated by Republican presidents and who tend to lean more conservatively. Those in favor of adding more to the highest court say it will restore balance. But those who want to keep the court at just 9 justices accuse Democrats of trying to pack the court.
In Washington, D.C., we weaponize everything. One thing that still has some semblance of independence from the ups and downs of daily politics is the federal judiciary.
Only Congress can change the number of Supreme Court justices, which they have done for a couple of times in the past. However, the Supreme Court has had 9 justices since the late 1860s. At the Supreme Court, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Prosecutors in New York have charged 4 suspects with trafficking more than 50 guns in Brooklyn. It's the first application in the state of a federal bipartisan gun safety bill, which was enacted in June. Police say the suspects sold guns that had several serial numbers removed or had been built using gun kits. Several of the recovered firearms have been linked to shootings in the New York City area. NYPD Commissioner says the taking of these illegal guns off the streets will in the end help prevent crime.
Every illegal gun seized, every shooting that does not occur, every homicide that never happens is another realization of the public safety focus of the NYPD.
Now, the suspects allegedly sold weapons to an undercover police officer they thought was a drug dealer. 2 of them are also facing drug charges. The maximum penalty under the law for weapons trafficking is 15 years in prison. Well, next, how a nationwide egg shortage is impacting those in our region. Stay with us.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
The issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, grocery shopping recently, you likely noticed a much bigger bill at the end of your trip. Prices for one kitchen staple are through the roof right now. The cost of eggs, they're up more than 200% from last year. Erie News Now's Tom Kowalski spoke to bakeries and grocery stores across our region to see what the price increase means for them.
While inflation has affected nearly everything you find on store shelves, it seems one of the most impacted products has been your average carton of eggs. According to the food market data company, Urner Barry, the average price for a dozen eggs is now $4.33, up from $1.33 just a year ago. But that's affecting more than just the average customer. It's also hitting local businesses hard.
Last week I was paying $5.75 a dozen, which is 4 times what I was paying a year ago. But actually yesterday they dropped 75 cents, so I'm happy about that. I never thought I'd be happy about $4.50 eggs.
Gordon Evans, owner and manager of Arts Bakery, says the high cost of eggs is eating into his profits.
The problem for me is on retail, I can raise my price. But on the baked goods, I can't. So I'm in the middle of Christmas and the egg price keeps going up. I can't change my retail prices on my products. When you're going through 100 dozen eggs a week, and the price just went up $3 a dozen, that's a lot of money.
The high cost largely comes from a wave of avian flu earlier this year, causing more than 43 million egg-laying chickens nationwide to be euthanized, creating a shortage. That, on top of skyrocketing feed, transportation, and labor costs, have caused the rise in egg prices. And Daniel Seraphin, of Seraphin's Food Market, says customers aren't happy.
Customers are now paying, $5.99 a dozen. Or, the cost of the eggs coming in here is over $5 a dozen. So you try to work on a little bit of a margin on that, but it's just, it affects everybody. Everybody.
Tom Kowalski, Erie News Now.
Thank you, Tom. Now, despite all of that, data shows shoppers, they've been accepting those high prices at the grocery store as sales of eggs have only dropped about 2% by unit in retail in the time through December 4th. That's according to data from the IRA, a market research firm. Certainly a lot of people feeling those struggles. And you look at eggs, something like that, you kind of need it, right? For so many recipes, you're forced to make those purchases no matter what. Well, that is it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a great day.